We live in a universe where the laws that govern the macrocosm are mirrored in the microcosm. Ancient wisdom synthesized this idea in the famous maxim, "As above, so below, as within, so without." This principle of correspondence invites us to observe the external world as a mirror of our internal reality. In daily life, we aren't always aware of how our perceptions shape the way we see the world. When we face obstacles, we tend to attribute them to circumstances, people, or fate. But what if what we are experiencing is a direct reflection of what we are cultivating within? This idea doesn't suggest that we are to blame for everything that happens to us, but it encourages us to realize that our external reality holds clues about what we are nurturing internally. Correspondence is the key to understanding that everything is connected, that the laws of the universe permeate all levels of existence, and that by observing our reality more closely, we can gain insights into ourselves. In this video, we will explore how this correspondence manifests in various areas of our lives, from mental and physical health to our interpersonal relationships, our place in society, and even the intersections between science and spirituality. More importantly, we will see how to apply this knowledge practically in our daily lives. The relationship between the mind and the body is one of the clearest examples of the principle of correspondence. For centuries, many traditions have understood that our mental state directly influences our physical health. Today, modern science confirms that our emotions, thoughts, and beliefs significantly impact our well-being. When we constantly face anxiety, stress, or anger, our body responds with warning signals. Muscle tension, digestive problems, headaches, or even more severe illnesses may arise as a reflection of what is happening within us. On the other hand, moments of inner peace and mental balance have the power to restore physical health and revitalize the body. Correspondence teaches us that our mental state not only influences but also shapes our physical health. Think about how the body reacts when we are afraid. Muscles tense up, breathing becomes rapid, and the heart races. Now imagine the calm we feel when meditating or engaging in activities that connect us with our essence. In those moments, the body relaxes, breathing deepens, and there is a sense of peace. But this connection goes beyond immediate symptoms. Chronic diseases and long-term imbalances can have roots in repressed emotions or negative thought patterns held for years. Integrative medicine, for instance, works precisely with this perspective, healing not only the physical body but also addressing the underlying emotional and mental causes. The question that correspondence poses here is, what kind of mental health are we nurturing? Are we cultivating thoughts that strengthen us, or are we getting entangled in patterns that weaken our body? The answer can be found by observing how our body reacts and reflects our internal state. By understanding this correspondence, we can take the first step toward genuine healing. Cultivating the mind with thoughts of compassion, love, and resilience can directly transform our physical health. Similarly, taking care of the body through exercise, healthy eating, and proper rest is a way of honoring the mind and creating a more harmonious relationship between the two. People around us act as mirrors, reflecting parts of ourselves that we often cannot see directly. What attracts or repels us in another person can indicate internal aspects that have not yet been fully understood or resolved. The principle of correspondence teaches us that our relationships, whether harmonious or challenging, are projections of the dynamics happening within us. Think about the time someone has stirred intense emotions in you. Perhaps a conflict, criticism, or even an irritating behavior from the other person touched something deep. The question to ask in those moments isn't just, why is this person acting this way? But rather, what in me is reacting this way? Often, the qualities we judge or reject in others are those we haven't yet accepted in ourselves. This doesn't mean we're always wrong or that we should tolerate abusive behavior. The central point is realizing that by understanding our reactions, we gain power over our own reality. If we feel insecure in a relationship, it may reflect insecurities we haven't dealt with internally. If we deeply admire a quality in someone, that characteristic may be latent within us, waiting to be expressed. Our relationships, therefore, are opportunities for personal growth. Every interaction, no matter how challenging, carries a message about what needs to be healed, accepted, or transformed within us. When we view others as mirrors, we stop being victims of circumstances and become protagonists of our own evolution. Similarly, when we begin to work on our relationship with ourselves, nurturing self-love, accepting our shadows, and practicing self-compassion, our external relationships also change. Dynamics of control, manipulation, or dependency begin to dissolve, making way for more authentic and balanced connections. The great lesson here is that by transforming our internal reality, we transform how we relate to others. When we learn to see each relationship as a mirror, we expand our capacity for self-knowledge and open doors to healthier, more enriching relationships. The relationship between the individual and society is another powerful manifestation of the principle of correspondence. Often, we feel separate from the collective, as if we are mere passive observers of the social dynamics around us. However, this separation is an illusion. What happens in the microcosm of our lives reflects and influences the macrocosm of society, and vice versa. Every thought, choice, and individual action contributes to the construction of collective reality. The society we live in, with its norms, values, and structures, is the result of the sum of the actions and beliefs of millions of people. At the same time, the challenges we face as a society, from social inequalities to environmental issues, are also mirrors reflecting our internal dilemmas as individuals. If we look closely, we will see that many external crises have roots in internal crises. Disrespect for the environment, for example, can be seen as a reflection of our own disconnection from nature and from ourselves. Similarly, the violence and intolerance we see in the world may mirror our own lack of compassion, self-criticism, and fear of the different. This level of correspondence leads to an important reflection. What are we contributing to the world? Our daily actions, no matter how small they seem, have an impact. When we choose kindness, empathy, and respect, we are shaping a society that values these same qualities. On the other hand, when we perpetuate selfishness, judgment, and fear, we are feeding these forces in the world around us. The transformation of the collective always begins with the individual. If we want to see significant changes in society, we must first look within. We need to examine our beliefs, our prejudices, our fears, and our aspirations. Inner work, when done sincerely, has a ripple effect on the external world. This understanding gives us not only a sense of responsibility but also of power. Each of us has the potential to be an agent of change. And this change doesn't have to start with grand gestures but in everyday choices, in respect for others, in the sustainability of our habits, and how we treat ourselves and others. The principle of correspondence reminds us that just as we are influenced by society, we also have the power to influence it. The external world is a reflection of what we are collectively creating, and by transforming our own internal reality, we actively participate in the creation of a more conscious, just, and balanced society. The relationship between science and spirituality has long been seen as contradictory. While science focuses on the empirical and rational observation of the physical world, spirituality explores the invisible and subjective dimensions of existence. However, the principle of correspondence suggests that these two areas are not in conflict but rather mirror different aspects of the same reality. In recent decades, we have seen a significant growth in the dialogue between science and spirituality. Quantum physics theories, for example, suggest that reality is not as solid as we imagine. Studies of subatomic particles reveal an interconnected universe, where the observation of a phenomenon can directly influence its behavior. This idea of interconnectedness resonates deeply with ancient spiritual principles, which have always pointed to the unity between the observer and the observed, the inner and the outer. Looking at the universe through the lens of science, we realize that many of the laws that govern the physical world, gravity, motion, energy, also have parallels in our spiritual and emotional life. The concept of correspondence invites us to see these two fields as reflections of one another. The laws that explain how the cosmos functions also explain the dynamics of our own being. For example, the idea of cause and effect, widely studied in science, has a parallel in spirituality with the law of karma. Similarly, the concept of energy, so central to various scientific disciplines, is also present in spiritual practices such as Reiki, meditation, and energy healing. What happens at the microscopic level in terms of energy and vibration also happens in our emotional and mental field. Science, in exploring the physical universe, and spirituality, in exploring the internal dimension, are both trying to answer the same fundamental questions. Where do we come from? Where are we going? What is the nature of reality? What does it mean to be alive? The principle of correspondence suggests that the answer to these questions lies at the intersection of these two areas. Just as the universe follows organized patterns and natural laws, our spiritual journey also follows laws of evolution, learning, and expansion. When united, science and spirituality can offer a deeper, more complete understanding of life. They show us that what exists outside of us is a reflection of what exists within, and vice versa. This connection between science and spirituality is especially relevant in the modern era. As we seek answers to global challenges such as climate change and social inequality, the integration of these two fields offers us a new perspective. We need both the clarity and precision of science and the wisdom and intuition of spirituality to create a more balanced and sustainable future. The principle of correspondence invites us to look at scientific discoveries with reverence, but also to remember that they reflect spiritual truths. Similarly, the spiritual practices we cultivate can be understood in light of scientific discoveries. By uniting these two dimensions, we have the chance to evolve not only as individuals but as a society that understands its intrinsic connection to the cosmos. Now that we understand the principle of correspondence and its application in various areas of life, the question arises, how can we bring this knowledge into our daily routine practically? How can we use this mirror between what is inside and what is outside to transform our daily life? There are several tools and practices that can help us apply the concept of correspondence consciously. By integrating them, we can not only recognize the reflections of our inner world but also influence how external reality manifests. Here are some practical strategies to get started. Daily self-awareness and self-reflection. The key to understanding correspondence lies in self-awareness. This means setting aside moments each day to reflect on your emotions, thoughts, and reactions. A self-reflection journal can be an excellent starting point. Ask yourself, what is my external reality showing me right now? By observing the events and challenges in your life through this lens, you'll begin to identify internal patterns that are reflected in the external world. Meditation and presence. Meditation is a powerful tool to deepen the connection between the inner and outer worlds. By calming the mind and entering a state of presence, you gain clarity about what is happening inside you. Regular meditation practice helps align your internal energies, promoting harmony and balance, which in turn reflects in your external environment. Remember, when we are at peace internally, we tend to attract external circumstances that reflect that peace. Affirmations and visualization. If the external world is a reflection of our internal state, we can consciously create the reality we desire through affirmations and visualizations. Positive affirmations help reprogram limiting beliefs that may be creating negative patterns in your life. Visualizations are equally powerful. By imagining yourself living your ideal reality, you begin to align your mind and emotions with this new reality. Correspondence ensures that, over time, the external aligns with this internal transformation. Taking care of the body as a reflection of the mind. The state of the physical body is a reflection of our mental and emotional state, as we've seen before. Practices like yoga, physical exercise, and a balanced diet not only improve physical health but also directly influence your mental state. By taking care of the body, you are actually cultivating a healthier mind and vice versa. The balance between mind and body creates a positive feedback loop that reflects in your external life. Cultivating conscious relationships. Our interactions with others are powerful reflections of what we are experiencing internally. By cultivating conscious relationships, based on empathy, open communication, and mutual respect, you begin to attract people and situations that resonate with this state of harmony. Practice forgiveness, both for others and for yourself, and notice how the dynamics of your relationships change when you free yourself from resentments or fears. Gratitude and focus on the positive. A simple but transformative practice is gratitude. When you recognize the blessings that already exist in your life, you are sending a message to the universe that you value and acknowledge what you have. This positive energy, in turn, creates a field of correspondence that attracts more reasons to be grateful. Start or end your day by listing 3 things you are grateful for. Over time, this simple habit can change the way you perceive your external reality. Detachment and acceptance. Part of the wisdom of correspondence lies in accepting that not everything that happens externally is under our immediate control. Detachment and acceptance of circumstances as temporary reflections of our internal journey help us live more lightly. Instead of fighting reality, we can ask, what is this trying to teach me? Detachment allows us to observe our reality more clearly and respond more consciously. These tools are not complicated, but they require consistency. By applying them, you will begin to notice subtle, and eventually profound, changes in how your external reality responds to your internal transformations. The principle of correspondence is not just a theoretical idea. It is a living practice that can be cultivated at every moment. We've reached the end of our journey of reflection on the principle of correspondence, one of the pillars that sustain the understanding that the external world reflects the internal. Throughout this video, we've explored how this principle manifests in our mental and physical health, in our interpersonal relationships, in the connection between the individual and society, and even in the intersections between science and spirituality. The concept of correspondence offers us a powerful path to transform our lives. By recognizing that external experiences are reflections of internal dynamics, we free ourselves from the feeling of powerlessness in the face of circumstances. Instead of seeing life as a series of random events, we come to understand that by working internally, whether by cultivating higher thoughts, balancing our emotions, or expanding our consciousness, we also transform what manifests externally. True change begins within each of us. If we want to see a more peaceful, more compassionate, more just world, we must first nurture these values within ourselves. If we seek harmony in our relationships, we must look within and heal internal conflicts. The universe, like a mirror, reflects what we project onto it. But this wisdom isn't just about self-knowledge, it's also an invitation to action. Correspondence reminds us that we are agents of our own reality. Personal transformation is not a passive process. It requires awareness, effort, and the willingness to dive into our own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, always seeking greater alignment between our inner and outer worlds. Finally, it's important to remember that the principle of correspondence offers a continuous opportunity for learning and growth. Every day brings new chances to observe our external reality, reflect on what it is telling us, and make internal adjustments that can lead to evolution. With this, we begin to live more aligned with what we want to create. If you enjoyed this video and feel the content brought value to your life, don't forget to like and share it with those who could benefit from this reflection. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more content that will help you dive even deeper into self-knowledge and personal transformation. Let's create a more conscious reality from the inside out.